It's 8:21 a.m.
So it's 8:21 a.m. on Tuesday. That is exactly 24 hours and 21 minutes.
It's 43 degrees outside.
That is cold. I know you guys from Minnesota is going to say that's a beautiful day. Keep in mind, it's Tuesday. On Sunday, it was 79 degrees. The sun is shining. It looks like it's a beautiful day. It is freezing. Look at George. He's got a jacket on and pants. I'm wearing a long sleeve jacket. And I have a hood, so my hair will look really cool because I'm really into keeping my hair nice. You've seen it in the past videos. But
yeah, you're gonna have to replace the clutch because the guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of down from Georgia.
Was it like on I-4 or?
Yeah. After like 75.
Yeah. There it is. What is the official time, boys? It is 8:38. So 24 hours and 38 minutes late. Now, don't rush it. Do a really good job. Do everything that I wanted it to do, but just work late if you need to. So here it is. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, it's still got the head unit on. So, the heck is that? It's a separate oil pressure sender. So this car
has a little tiny battery.
Little tiny battery. This is getting a reinstalled supercharger. This supercharger, I think, is upgraded into a C3892, and he wants us to do our revisions at the same time. So we have to take all this off, basically reinstall it, go through what he has. We're going to change some of this. You've seen us clean these hoses up. There's a catch can buried down there. Fits. We're going to take this apart and I'll show you a little bit more here in a minute. Go ahead and start it real quick, just let it idle. Let's get a kind of a feel for it. There's a lot of wires and stuff all over the place. We've got to kind of look this over and see. Sounds funny. It doesn't sound like a lifter, so it doesn't speed up with the engine. Yeah, it does a little bit. Yeah, it does. It sounds like a diesel. So here's the supercharger head unit off. George just took the pulleys off. We're going to inspect this. Now, I'm not going to make this an episode of telling you whatever everybody does wrong or what's wrong with this, but I want to show you a couple of little things that we do along the way without giving away too many secrets. I want to kind of share some of it with you. Well, now there is an updated Vtec bracket. You've all seen that. It's a bracket that actually attaches to, I'll put an arrow there. It attaches to that bolt there, and it adds a little bit more support. Well, way back, maybe 3 years ago, we started building the bracket and attaching to that bolt there. So we're going to take this bracket off and modify that so it picks up that extra bolt, so it adds a bit more security on that side. And of course, whatever gaskets are in it are going to be replaced. If it has the kit gaskets in there, they don't work. They are notorious for leaking. I don't see a lot of oil around there, but obviously we've got to replace a gasket. Alright, so this is a used head that we use for mocking up. I'm just going to show you the kind of like the theory behind this bracket. I'm not going to show you too many secrets, but I am going to tell you some of the things to look for on the supercharger install. And this is some of the things that we've seen over the years, and I never was out there telling everybody there are mistakes because, well, you know, we were here to install them. So I'm going to put these bolts in loose real quick and just show you something to look for. Well, imagine you're going to be putting these bolts on and tightening them up. Well, your plate is going to bolt here. This has a little bit of room. So when this is bolted on, do you bolt it with a little bit of this angle or a little bit of this angle? You don't. Everything has to be set loose, little at a time. Anyway, so the new bracketry has basically a support that attaches to here and comes down to the bolt on the timing cover, like I mentioned. We were changing these bolts way early on to ARP. He has a different bolt in here. It's not the ARP bolt, it's not a bolt we're going to use. I don't know the bolt and I don't trust it. As well as changing these to the ARPs, what we did is we utilized this right here. This is a much larger bolt hole here. Take a much larger thread. In fact, it's a 10mm thread. So this is our mock-up bolt. What I do is build a bracket that comes from here, and it attaches to this. It helps support this, takes some of the load off these three. Of course, changing those to ARP and adding this bolt gives this bracket much more support. So that's that simple little ear that we've used for years now. I'm going to make that into metal because we don't have any pre-made ones because the brackets are upgraded. I'll go ahead and make it, show you what it looks like.
So I told him to
Hey guys from LHT Performance.
She'll talk about the baby in a minute. Check this out.
George's build of his Mugen SI. I also have a Honda Civic SI 8 Gen 2006.
So I'm not going to let you watch the whole video. I'm going to link on his channel, but this is someone that sent this video to George. In fact, he made a YouTube video just so George could watch it. It was kind of filling him in on the Torque app and the screen on his car. So that's really nice. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead, look at this. I'm going to give you instructions when you watch our video. This is what you got to do. First, you got to go over here. Click that thumbs up. That means you like it. Either you like the content, you like the time that the guy took, whatever. You like something about it. Be focused, be positive here. Also, over here somewhere, you're going to subscribe. Big red letters, subscribe. Go ahead, buddy. There you go. So we subscribed to your channel and liked it. Thank you, George Lopez. Really appreciate that. It's really nice. George is going to say a few kind words. I'm going to put George on the spot. This is George. Take it away.
I've downloaded RaceDash and I want to set it up. I just haven't had time to sit in the car and set it up.
Doing a sound check. If you can speak into the microphone.
Mic check.
Check. Okay, we got it, buddy.
Okay,
we got it.
I need to take time to set it up. The microphone's in the shot.
That's the sorry.
boom shot, boom shot.
Boom shot.
But thanks, George Lopez. I'm gonna watch it again when I have a little more time because I'm working now. But
got a car over here on the left.
I'm gonna watch it and then learn how to set it up because it does certainly look good.
So this is that little tab that we put on here. It takes a little bit of extra support, a little bit of weight off these three bolts by adding this much larger one, and then obviously it all bolts together. So we already replaced the fuel pump. I didn't film it because we're kind of on a little bit of a time constraint considering the car came late, but this had the Grams pump in it, and we've talked about this before. I'm not going to say anything bad about it, but I am going to say the Walbro fuel pump is our pump of choice, and it's the only one we use now. So one of the other changes, we changed this to an ARP stud. This is another high load, high shear area, as well as the intake manifold bolt here. They include a bolt that's longer, and we've had a lot of problems with it shearing, so we changed that to an ARP also. We also tapped this a little bit longer because there's only about 5mm of thread, and we need at least twice the length of the bolt. Valve cover's off right now. We're going through the lifters because a couple of them sounded loud and it had a bit of a stumbly idle, so I just want to make sure there's no tight lifters. So the extra threaded hole right there is the other mounting point that we're going to pick up to support our Vtec bracket. So this is our bracket with the added piece on there. So we have the 3 points there that are 6mm, and then we have a 12mm right there. The kit is only supported by 3 points. So you've got basically this point right here, the bracket there that takes that other ARP, and this stud right here. So that's a reason that we're trying to use the strongest bolts that we know of to support that, because we only have the 3 mounting points. Alright, so the exhaust here is a Mugen exhaust, which is a really good quality exhaust. They're just not really designed for forced induction. This is tiny. This tube in here is really tiny. And then when you get over here, this is about the size of the header tube on the Skunk 2 header. So again, it's not that you can't make power of these, it's just a lot harder to make power, which means you got to ramp up the timing, run more boost, do whatever you can to give you the number that you're looking for. You're just making the motor work harder. So we're going to take this off and build him one of our stealth exhausts with a twist. You know the twist? So these are the mufflers he's provided. They're Vtec. They have the little motor here. It's kind of like a window motor that opens and closes. A butterfly in here, So we're having to work around these. As you see, it's a massive muffler here. This body is 14 and a quarter long. Typically the mufflers we would use are about 10 to 11 inches long, just so they fit in this area right here. Well, because the length and he really wants to use these to try and figure out how to make it happen, we're gonna have to put these mufflers kind of on a 45-degree angle here. Obviously we've got more room this way, but then we'll need to kick back for the tip and kick back for here. Rather than the muffler sitting straight, the muffler's gonna sit, you know, crooked. So here it is. The exhaust is done.
This makes it stealth.
That quiets it up, that muffler right there.
Yeah.
That takes all the noise out of it. So right here we're still working. George has this little guy over here that is just fabbed up. We're gonna split here somewhere after that resonator right there. We're coming here. And I'm gonna split it. So it's gonna split over here. We're still trying to figure out how to get these big ginormous mufflers in there. We did cut the tube off the back to try and start our bend early. Alright, so it's looking a whole lot better. We got it together. We decided to do these pipes in black because he has the black blower and it kind of goes with the gray. We like this color combination. So the larger intake and the charge tube is satin black. Well, we kind of went and checked some of the settings. We changed the throttle body and noticed it doesn't have a whole lot of gas, so we're going to go ahead and put 20 bucks worth of gas in it because we do not want it to run low, obviously, while tuning. That wouldn't be good at all. Alright, so this is what it looks like. It's all done, it's welded up. This is off the car, obviously, because this is, you know, the valve, it opens a butterfly. The idea is, if you look at it, I'll show you down the end of the muffler here in a second, but the gas comes down here, hits a butterfly, it's forced back down the chamber, and I think it comes around a tube, and then a tube comes into the side. So of course it quiets it down that way, and when it opens, it's a straight through shot. So there you see that hole in the side. You can see the butterfly here. You see where I am in relation to the muffler. Well, that's the tube that it wraps around. And again, the theory is pretty good. Just the last maybe 3 that we've had, the mufflers have failed. One of them was actually on the dyno and it failed in the closed position. So we did our best. We made these look as nice as we could. As you see how big the muffler is, we talked about putting them on an angle and then kicking the tip straight. We made them look right, made them look as clean and presentable as we can. We made a nice merge. It has an inline resonator. But this isn't a muffler we're going to offer. I know someone's going to ask about it, and I don't want to say anything either way, but we're not going to offer this exhaust. This is just because this customer bought them and he asked for them and he really, really wants to use them. We're going to go ahead and wire them up, and hopefully they're going to work. All right, 461 and 301. Torque. This is the high boost pulley with the C3892.